Welcome back. Happy New Year's. It is New Year's Eve, and I think it's only fitting for my last video of 2022. I am going to be showing you guys how I make one of my all-time favorite party dip recipes. That felt like a mouthful to say. So anyway, the dip I'm going to be showing you guys how to make today is called a Donair Dip, or also called the Halidip. And for those of you who have no idea what a Donair is, the best way I can explain it is it's similar to a Gyro, only the spices are a little bit different. It is still eaten in a pita, but it usually comes with a sweet garlic sauce, which we call Donair Sauce, and it also comes with tomatoes and onions, and some people like to put cheese on it. So, this is a staple in Nova Scotia. It is like the go-to thing when you are having a night on the town or you're having a big party, you make it into a dip, and it's popular. It is so popular in Nova Scotia, and I am in love with it, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make it. So, that being said, cheers, Happy New Year's. Let's get this party started.
Alright, to get started, in a bowl you're going to put 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and you're going to add 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika. Then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and then a half a teaspoon of pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. I couldn't find my salt, so I had to improvise with my tiny little salt shaker. Okay, so now that has all been added, you're going to mix it up and mix it and mix it and keep mixing it until it is really, really well combined. Once it's combined, you're going to grab a pan and you're going to break it all up and put it in the pan, and then it's going on your stove and you're going to cook it down just like normal ground beef. Alright, so while the ground beef is cooking, I'm going to get my Donair sauce ready. And I'm going to do this and add everything a little bit at a time, tasting in between to make sure I am getting the exact flavor of the Donair sauce that I want it to be. So I'm starting with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and I'm adding vinegar and garlic powder. So it works out to be in the end that you add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 3.5 tablespoons of vinegar. But I added each of those just a little bit at a time, tasting in between, just to make sure I don't add too much or I didn't add enough. So if I were at home in Nova Scotia, then I would just go to the pizza shop and buy a cup of Donair sauce, but I live too far away, and it seems like nobody outside of Nova Scotia knows what Donair sauce is. So I have to make my own, which is what I'm doing now, and I'm sharing it with all of you. So this is a bit of a tedious process because it feels like your arm and your wrist are going to fall off from mixing it so much. But if you don't, then it's not going to taste right. You're going to either taste too much vinegar, too much garlic, so mix it really, really well. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part of our sauce now that we've made the Donair sauce part. I am going to put 1 block of cream cheese into my mixer bowl, which is 8 ounces. And I'm gonna let that mix just for a minute or two so that it's soft and getting kind of creamy. Once that's mixed, then I'm gonna add my 1 cup of Donair sauce. I know I made more, but that's because I will use it for pizza later this week. So just add 1 cup, and then you're gonna put that back on your mixer and let it mix up fairly well. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth because it's gonna be baked after. So once you've got that all mixed, then you're adding 1 cup of shredded mozza to it, and just mix it by hand. It doesn't have to go back on your mixer. Alright, so I'm ready to combine everything together. Now I did not drain my ground beef. I want some of that grease to go into the cream cheese and Donair sauce mixture. So I'm just going to use a slotted spoon and scoop out the ground beef into my cream cheese mixture. Once that's all done, I'm just going to give it a mix by hand, and then I'm going to put it into a baking dish. I did spray my baking dish with a little bit of Pam beforehand, just so it doesn't stick to it too bad after the dip has been eaten. So I preheated my oven to 350 Fahrenheit. I'm adding extra cheese on top of my dip because why not? And now I'm going to bake it for 20 minutes.
Well, what do you guys think? It turned out beautifully, as it always does. This is such an easy recipe to make, and I know there's so many people out there who have never tried this and they're kind of like, oh, a sweet garlic sauce. Anybody I have served this to has fallen in love with it and has always asked me for the recipe, and I usually forget to give it to them. Oops. So today I am going to be sharing it with you guys, which I have done, and I really hope you'll go and try it and see if you like it. It is one of my favorite party dips, and I could eat the entire batch of it. This dip can be eaten with pitas, or I have a bag of nacho chips. You can put it on crackers, little pieces of baguettes. It is quite versatile, but really the best way is with pita chips. It adds a little bit of crunch, a little saltiness to the sweet Donair sauce. It's fantastic. I can't brag it up enough. I absolutely love this recipe. I've been making it for years now. I hope you'll give it a try. I also hope you are going to give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for all of your support and all the likes and shares and comments throughout the year. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it and how much it is helping my channel grow. And I am really looking forward to doing so many more recipes in 2023. And thank you again for watching, and I can't wait to see what we come up with next year. Happy New Year's!